Klim, and you are watching Turn to the Stars. And this week on Turn to the Stars, we have a special guest, and her name is Elizabeth Gillis. Welcome, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Andrea, so much for having me on the show today.
I'm so pleased to have Liz here. She is a holistic health practitioner, and her main modality of practice is BodyTalk. And it really is a way of discovering the natural healer within you. And she is from Londonderry, New Hampshire. And today we're really going to be focusing on BodyTalk, what it is, and all kinds of special details about it. But before we begin, I wanted to just really fill in everybody, just to give you a brief astrology report, because we have today being May 19th. We just had a new moon yesterday, which was at 26 degrees of Taurus and 57 minutes in the constellation of Taurus. As I said, this new theme of Taurian energy guides us to value ourselves and our gifts, even when others around us have different standards and different opinions and different goals. So as the energy of this new moon grows, you can ask yourself these questions. How can I create more beauty, more peace, and more balance in my life? And you're going to see how this really refers to BodyTalk on today's show. Taurus is a magnificent, beautiful energy, and it is a stable, strong, very earthy, very grounded energy, and it really shows us the beautiful things in life that we really value and why. And so that question, how can I create more beauty, peace, and balance in my life, is important. Then all you have to do is trust in yourself and in your inner guidance, and you are right in that energy. And this morning, in preparation for today's show, I read something that abundance is the energy of permission. Once you allow yourself the right to desire what you want, express gratitude for what you have, and get excited for whatever comes on your life path, the more abundance you are bound to receive. And this quote is from Matt Kahn, and he is a spiritual teacher and a highly attuned empathic healer. And I thought that was really important toward the aligning with this Taurus new moon. A new moon is a new theme, a new start, and every day between now and the full moon, which is at the beginning of June, we are going to be growing in awareness of these values. And one other thing I want to say before we come back to Liz is about Mercury retrograde. Yesterday, Mercury was stationing, meaning things were a bit shaky and rocky. And at 3 a.m. this morning, Mercury, the planet of communication, turned retrograde, meaning it's appearing to us here on Earth to be going backwards through the constellation of Gemini. And Gemini is a zodiac sign that's ruled by the planet Mercury. So very, very important. And it is food this time of this retrograde, which is from May 19th, which happened at 3 this morning, May 19th through June 11th, is the time that we go back over things, redo, realize new material. It's actually a gift or a blessing in disguise. We do want to be careful. We do want to allow extra time and take time to research things, because truly Mercury retrograde means that this period of time gives us the means to a better end in whatever area of our lives we are researching. And the most important part of this retrograde is May 31st, when we'll have this great aha. And the word I would use, epiphany. That is a turning point of this retrograde. So with that said, I'm going to come right back to BodyTalk with Liz, and just let's just dive right into what BodyTalk is, okay. Because the interesting thing that happened to me, and I think I was telling you this.
You did tell me. It was very interesting.
Yeah, last December I had a astrology reading as a gift I wanted for Christmas. I asked my husband if he would give me a gift of a reading with somebody who I have so much respect for, Tad Mann, who was on the show last week. Very seasoned, 42-year student of astrology, and he recommended during the reading that I investigate BodyTalk.
Very interesting.
Which leads me to
what is BodyTalk?
Yes.
That is a really big question. So I'm going to start off with what the basic premise behind BodyTalk is. And that is that the body has an incredible ability to heal itself, and that it also seeks balance. But the problem is that we all experience stress. And when we experience stress, the body becomes unbalanced. And as we experience this imbalance, the body no longer has the same ability to heal as it did when it was balanced. And over the course of time, what happens is that we start seeing, if it doesn't get addressed and corrected, we start to see symptoms and illness and disease.
And so, we can all attest to that, in times of stress. We really feel like, you really got to take a deep breath. And sometimes even a deep breath is just not enough.
Sometimes it's not enough.
Right. And who created BodyTalk?
BodyTalk was created by Dr. John Valheim. He was the principal of the Brisbane College of Acupuncture and Natural Therapies in Australia for 5 years. His resume is very impressive. He is a trained acupuncturist, trained chiropractor, Reiki master many times over. His resume includes studying osteopathy, sports medicine, and it just goes on and on. He was ill with Epstein-Barr virus, and despite all of the modalities that he knew, all the healing techniques that he had access to, nothing really helped him. He ended up meeting an osteopath in the United States who did a technique on him, and this was the foundation of BodyTalk, and it's what we call the body chemistry technique. So he spiked, and one of the symptoms of Epstein-Barr is a chronic fever.
Yeah.
So he spiked an even higher fever for several days. That went away, that his fever broke, and also his chronic fever also disappeared from this technique. So obviously you can understand that he was very excited. So he started traveling the world and trying to find different modalities out there. And then he created this BodyTalk healthcare system. And BodyTalk is actually a whole healthcare system. It utilizes many different healing modalities and has combined them into one system. So we utilize the knowledge of Western medicine. It has chiropractic and osteopathic foundations, yes. And it also uses ancient hatha yoga techniques of breathing and tapping. We use applied kinesiology and also the energy systems of acupuncture.
Wow. And how did you come to learn this healing modality? What was the basis of your journey on this?
Well, as with many people who enter the realm of healing, it usually starts with a personal need or a health issue. And in 1999, I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, and it was advancing very quickly over a short period of time. My doctors had put me on various medications. I was on Celebrex and anti-inflammatories and things for the water retention, and nothing was really stopping the progression. Nothing was helping the pain. So they decided that they were going to put me on something called Plaquenil, which is an immune suppressant to try and prevent any damage and to slow down the progression of the disease. The side effect of that was a potential deterioration of my vision. So they had informed me that I would need to have vision screenings every 6 months to monitor that. So I went home with this prescription thinking, well, isn't a poor immune system one of the reasons why I'm sick to begin with?
Right.
And if I take this medication and suppress it, what else will I get sick with? Am I going to develop cancer and who knows what else?
Right.
So I decided to hold off, and that was my own personal choice, on going the pharmaceutical route, and I started doing research. So I found a product called CMO, which I am a distributor for now, and wasn't sure if it was legit or not. So I ordered it because what else did I have to lose?
Right.
And I started this supplement and followed the protocol that was recommended to go along with it, and I started noticing a reduction in my pain within 4 days.
Wow.
So I had such huge success with this product that it made me really hungry to learn what else was out there. So I started learning just for myself about, the pharmaceutical industry. I started learning about herbs and supplements. I started reading food labels and really pay attention to my diet and what we were eating and nutrition. And that led me to conversations with coworkers about herbs and whatnot. And they led me into meeting a gentleman who was teaching classes on health systems and also other modalities. Mm-hmm. So I started learning this back in about 2008, actually learning healthcare modalities. But I felt that it wasn't really comprehensive, or I felt that there was an emotional component for people's healing that was really necessary. And this particular modality did not have that. Mm. So I started doing a lot of Googling, trying to find maybe that element of emotions that I could bring in and utilize with this system. And I had been researching for a very long time, and nothing really resonated with me. And lo and behold, weeks, months later, again I Google, and all of a sudden this thing called BodyTalk comes up. And I said, wow. And I started reading about it, and I thought to myself, if this is everything that they say it is, and it does everything that they say that it does, yes, then this is essentially the holy grail that I have been looking for healthcare.
Yeah.
Because BodyTalk will address things on multiple levels. We can address the physical, mm-hmm, we can address the biochemical, we can address mental and emotional issues.
So all 4 layers of the human form
absolutely
are addressed. And I want to say to everyone, Liz,
That's okay.
Elizabeth is going to be, we have a psychic and holistic fair, the 29th one for us at Turn to the Stars, coming up on May 30th. And Liz is going to be there doing BodyTalk and a couple other things as well, right?
Right. I'm going to be offering a general wellness balance so
right,
that people can have a little bit of an experience of what BodyTalk is kind of like. Mm-hmm. But it's 5 set techniques that I'm going to be offering for people to have that experience. And I'm also going to be offering a free cortices balancing instruction. And the cortices balancing is, I think we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, in a couple minutes.
In a couple of minutes, in regards to the importance of learning how to balance your cortices and all the positive effects that come from that.
Well, what we're going to do before we get to that demonstration is I've made a video which is inclusive of all the participants, our readers, our healing therapists, our holistic vendors that are going to be at the Yard Restaurant in Banquets A and B on May 30th. This is a free admission event, and so I'm going to go ahead and play that video and be right back. So that was a great glimpse at the fair and all the participants, and we look forward to seeing you there. That is May 30th at the Yard Restaurant. And coming right back to talk with Liz about the Cortices technique. And Liz is actually going to do a demonstration. However, and she's going to give us a little bit more of an explanation of the Cortices technique before, right?
Right. The BodyTalk Cortices technique is the single most important technique that we have in BodyTalk. Mm-hmm. It balances the right and left hemispheres of the brain. Mm-hmm. So if you can imagine, sometimes when here comes that word stress again, the body kind of gets a little the brain gets a little haywired sometimes. It's kind of like the old couple that they're talking at each other, but nobody's really listening, and they're not actually getting anywhere. Uh-huh. So when we experience stress, the brain gets a little haywired. So we do the Cortices tapping technique and the balancing technique, and that once again allows the right and left hemispheres of the brain to communicate smoothly, and then it can do the job that it needs to do, which is paying attention and healing the body.
You know what this reminds me of, just if I have to say this, is people who take depression medication. Mm-hmm. They actually take that medication so that their right and left brain communicate, because a person who's depressed, their brain does not communicate, and so they become sort of empty feeling.
The cortices technique is great for a variety of reasons. It helps improve clarity and focus, improves memory. It can de-stress you. So if you're under a stressful situation, it reduces the negative effects of stress. Let's see, it can, as far as things that it can help patients who are going into shock or people who are going into shock. It can actually take them out of shock. It can help patients who have experienced comas, or it's also great for children who have ADHD.
Wow.
It's great for people who have dyslexia. There's a vast number of benefits that come from doing the cortices technique. And all practitioners are highly encouraged to teach everyone they know how to do this technique. It's the one technique that you do not have to be certified, that you do not have to be a certified BodyTalk instructor to teach people how to do. And then all the people that we teach, we encourage them to turn around and show people how to do it and to use it at least once a day. If you have insomnia, then do it before bedtime. If you have a hard time waking up in the morning, then do it in the morning after you get up. And it really just promotes it promotes healing, and it also promotes a very calming effect and feeling of well-being.
Wow. So can you give us a short demonstration?
Sure. Well,
now, would you rather I stand up?
Standing would be great.
I think that would work better too, because it looks like we're not going to. It'll work out for the camera so that people can.
So we're going to be using two hands for this technique. We're going to use one hand for body placement, which in this case will be the head.
Okay.
With this hand, you want to make sure that your fingers are closed because we don't want to leave any gaps open. Okay. And we're going to start at the base of the neck.
Okay.
That's going to be the first position. With your other hand, you're going to keep that open palm. Now with the hand that's on the back of the head, you want to make sure we're covering both the left and the right hemispheres of the brain. So we want to create like a bridge there. And with this hand, we're going to keep that open, and we're going to do the BodyTalk famous tapping technique, which is on the top of the head.
Okay.
And this actually stimulates the instructions that we're giving the brain of what it needs to do.
Okay.
And you're going to breathe deep in and out. And normally we do this for 2 breath cycles before we move to a different hand position. And then we do tapping on the sternum. And this tapping on the sternum is something that we do frequently in BodyTalk. And the purpose of that is basically to lock in any instructions that we have just given the brain. And when you're moving hand positions, you want to progress so that you're not missing any spots. So you're starting off on the spot that you had left off previously. And we're going to come all the way around to the top of the eyebrows. And then when we're done with the top of the eyebrows, we're going to go ahead and do the sides. We want to cover the limbic areas of the brain as well.
You're going to put me to sleep?
I do this and the entire wellness program for myself every single night before I go to bed. I don't have any trouble sleeping. And then we'll just cover the sides, so that's going to be right above the earlobes with the fingers pointing back. And we're going to release one hand temporarily, because we've kind of imprinted our hand on that one side.
Yeah.
And then we'll replace again, wait a moment, and release the other hand. And if someone is uncomfortable with the tapping sensation on the top of their head, you can actually do it just slightly above, and you'll get the exact same effect. And that's it.
Oh boy.
So I will be teaching everyone how to do that who comes to visit me at the fair on the 30th. And it's a great tool for everybody to have to de-stress and improve their health.
Well, it certainly felt really good. I feel like my arms feel like ragdoll right now. I think that for anybody out there who's watching the show and would like to learn this, do you have any classes that are coming up?
I am hoping to organize a class sometime this summer, and that class will actually be for the BodyTalk Access Wellness Program. And this is a one-day class that you can take, and it's a 6-hour class that actually teaches you 6 techniques in BodyTalk that you can self-apply. And it will take care of most of your day-to-day health concerns or issues. And it's a great program to learn, and especially for moms with little children, there's a fast aid technique. So if they get a little injury, that you can kind of help speed the healing on that a little bit. And the fast aid is also extremely good in the event of a 911 emergency while you're waiting to have the medical people arrive.
Wow. Well, I'm going home with this. so that I can have this. You know, I when you told me about this. About BodyTalk when we were talking on the phone, I went on YouTube and looked up BodyTalk, and I found, you know, just a very short video. So what you were just teaching me, actually you do it better though than I did it. I was trying to copy the fellow, but anyway, it really does feel really relaxing. And again, Liz is going to be at the fair, so I hope you will come and say hi, and
Absolutely.
maybe just, you know, just sit down and have a conversation. Information is knowledge and power. And so everyone, I want to say thank you to Liz first for coming here.
Thank you very much.
And sharing with our audience.
Thank you.
You know, the specialty and the BodyTalk, and I know you do doTERRA oils.
Yes.
And you also the CMO for
Correct.
arthritis. So,
Correct.
Anyway, thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
And everyone, thank you for all your support of Turn to the Stars. I want to say and remind you all, turn to the stars and you'll find your answers there. Until next week, take good care. We'll see you then.